Hello, Miss Steele here. I'm down here at the bottom. These are my hands showing us what we're doing today. So this week we are talking about lines and shapes. For this project, we are going to focus on shapes. There are two kinds of shapes. There are geometric shapes and organic shapes. Geometric shapes are the shapes we recognize. They're kind of what I consider normal shapes. Triangles, rectangles, diamonds, ovals. Recognizable shapes that have distinct sort of lines to them. Organic shapes are free-flowing shapes. They don't really have a name to them. They're kind of wibbly and wobbly. So geometric shapes have a lot of straight lines and they're recognizable shapes. Organic shapes are free-flowing and kind of can go any sort of way. So we're going to be using both. And what we're going to do is we're going to make our own line shape design. I have an example right here. So for this project, what you're going to need is a piece of paper, a pencil and an eraser, and then something to color with. I have markers for today. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw two organic and two geometric shapes really big on our paper. And if you look at this, we're going to have them overlapping in some places. I even have three organic shapes. So if you want to add more, that is up to you. But I want at least two geometric and two organic. If I go back and look at this, maybe I'll do a diamond and a square. So wherever you want on your paper, you're going to draw a really big diamond and a really big square. You want them like bigger than your fist. You don't want them to be teeny tiny. So here is my diamond. Grab my eraser to get that line out of the way. And then I think I'm going to draw my square right here. So now I have my two geometric shapes. Now I'm going to add in my two organic shapes. And if you look right here, organic shapes can kind of be any sort of shape. So you can kind of make it up on your own. I kind of think of like the inside of a lava lamp whenever I think of organic shapes. So I think I'm going to make my first one over here in this corner, like that. And then I'm going to make my next one, I think, here at the bottom, like that. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to color them in, but if you see, because we overlapped these and we did them really big kind of on top of each other, there are new sections that were created. So all of these little new shapes that I created, I'm going to color different than what I color the bigger shapes, like what you see right here. Here's another example. If you can see, where they're overlapped is where I drew these lines, because they should be a different color, just like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in all of my shapes, and then I'm going to wait to color in these overlapped parts. So what I would do is grab my colors. I'm using markers today. And I like to go back and kind of erase my pencil lines a little bit so you can't see them as much, but I can still see them too. Trace them. So I go back and I erase like that. It's kind of harder for you to see, but the lines are still there for me to see. And then I would outline it like this, and then I would color this in. So whenever I'm coloring with markers, instead of going back and forth a bunch, I like to draw long lines, and I think that's the fastest way to color with markers. Like that. Next, I'm going to color this blob, my organic shape. I keep getting them mixed up today. My organic shape right here, but I'm not going to color in these two areas because they overlap. So I'm going to change the color, and then we create all new shapes. So I'm going to color this in, and maybe I'll use purple. So I'm going to go back and erase some of these pencil lines just so I can't see them as much for my final artwork. But I can still see them enough to trace them. So again, I'm going to go back, and like I said, I'm not going to color in this area where it overlapped into my diamond, because I'm going to color that a new color, like this. So I'm going to get this colored in, and then we're going to color in these two areas using a different color. I went ahead and colored in my square, but you can see these two white areas are where my organic shape overlapped, so on top of my two geometric shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and where they overlap, I'm going to use a new color, like this. So you can still see the shape of both. You can still see my square right here, and then you can still see my organic shape. I think maybe for this area I'll go in with blue. So again, where they overlap, you're going to color that a new color. And then there's a new shape created. So you can still see these bigger shapes, but now there's new shapes in here as well. So our last step will be coloring in my last organic shape. So again, I'm going to erase my pencil lines to leave them a little bit lighter so I can still see them, but they won't show up as much whenever I color it in. It just looks a little nicer. And then I have this little area where my square and my kind of blobby shape, my organic shape, overlapped. So what I can do is go in, maybe with this lighter blue right here, and color in that shape like this. Like that. And then I can go back with maybe this darker blue. And I can color in my last organic shape. So I'm going to get this colored in, and then we will look at it all finished. Just like that, we're done. We created our own shape design. We created 3 new shapes overlapping, 2 geometric, 2 organic. Like I said on this one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes. So if you want to add in an extra shape or 2, you can definitely do that. Just be sure wherever it overlaps, you change the color you're using. If you look at this one, I have my geometric shapes in black, my organic shapes in red, and then I just drew these lines so you can see a little bit better that I would color in these sections using a different color. All right, I will see you guys all next time. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, your evening, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Bye.